I I just can't even do it justice. So I've talked about it numerous times about the shitty people in my neighborhood. Seriously, huh? I'm good right now. Um, I don't think I've ever seen somebody do that. Ah! I just start screaming like that. That's Looney Tunes. I just don't expect that. Like that's comical. If it weren't so sad. But it's based in guilt. Because if you had something better to say, or you could say, you'd say it. You wouldn't just start screaming. Right. So I've talked about these pieces of shit neighbors that we have, and how they take advantage of, right, how their mom is our neighbor. Right, they're not actually our neighbors, but how they take advantage of the special girl across the street. And like it's disgusting, really disgusting, because the girl is super nice and sweet and doesn't know how to say no necessarily, and especially if you come at her with a sob story or you need help. No, that's a different thing. As far as this goes, she's a sap. You know, if you come at her with my shit's falling apart, blah 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 blah, you know, I'm hungry, and she has an apple, she's gonna give you the apple. Like, she's just that type of person. Not saying she's you know, some noble great person or anything, but she is a sweet, you know, naive, innocent person.
Joy was out here Thursday morning for the garbage cleaning. She was cleaning some shit up and getting some last minute stuff out. And she was screaming about Don in the street. This fucking piece of shit leaves his cigarette butts all over the fucking street in front of my house. I'm sick of it. He needs to go. I didn't say shit. Are you gonna go yell at her too?
Well, so it's gotten to the point where, I mean, it's a unique situation. You know, the special girl's parents own the house, and then the house next door, and you know, it's I mean, it's as good as of a situation as it can be in that regard. But because the special girl has her own house, you know, it becomes a place where people just take advantage of. Becomes a flop house in some regards. And the neighbors, who again, they're not our neighbors, their mom is the neighbor, they take advantage of the fact that she's super sweet and all that. They leave their kids with her all the time, you know. And this has been going on for years, but as of recently, it's just gotten a lot worse. And you know, normally they live in little shitty motels, but I'm assuming that they must have been kicked out of all the motels around here, or else they'd be in a motel. But you know, it's like, you know, this dude is his business is like landscaping and you know, home improvement. Like he's that guy. He's one of those guys with the truck that goes around and, you know, hey, I'll clean up your yard. Hey, I'll do this. Hey, I'll do that. He has that business, and literally nobody in this neighborhood uses him. Why? Because he's stolen. He gets the money from people, doesn't do the work. Like, he's the type of motherfucker that takes advantage of a special girl, right? I mean, it doesn't wrap it all up. And so, as she was saying, the owner of the house, the guy, got sick of it and was like, you know what, you gotta go. You can't stay here anymore. Fuck that. So what he's doing now is he's waking up butt crack in the morning, sneaking out, and then sneaking into his car and driving off to make it look like he's not staying at her house anymore. Like, this is the type of piece of shit we're talking about. And so there's this neighborhood kid, little black kid. You know, I mean, you got to admire the kid. Well, I mean, the thing is, the kid is wants to work. That's the thing. That's what's so he wants to work. He wants to make some money. So, of course, this dumbass is going to take full advantage of that and have the kid work for him.
And there's no work permit, and there's no nothing. Then what?
Nothing. And so this happened several times where in the morning the kid will be here and he'll just be sitting outside. He was told to come here at this time, and dickhead's not answering. Right, he comes when he's supposed to be there, and that's what you know. And so the douchebag won't answer the door, won't answer his phone, blah 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 blah. And the kid's sitting there all depressed. And how you doing?
She sent me the address.
8484 or 484.
No mail for you today.
Good, good.
Thank you.
Weird. But so the kid's sitting down the street. He's just all dejected. It's fucking 90 some degrees. So I roll up, thing of water, give him a thing of water, and I'm like, dude, you need to, stop working with it. You need to stop. This guy's a piece of shit. He takes advantage of people. There's going to be a time where he doesn't pay you. You're going to do a bunch of work and he's not going to pay you.
Why do you think he doesn't have adults?
Well, that's what I said to him. I said, look around the neighborhood. Notice how you guys don't ever do any work around here? It's because nobody around here trusts that piece of shit. And I said to him, you're better than this. You deserve better than this. And so I don't know what happened. So another one of the neighbors that this dude has fucked over in the past. I mean, that's just the thing that always gets ignored. It's like everybody that's talking or has a complaint, or he's fucked us over in the past. It's just what he does. And so, right. I mean, just before she got pregnant, she filed a PPO against him because he cut up all her clothes and shit. Like it's just insane. The whole thing is just insane. So she comes out on the porch, a couple houses down, and me, the wife, and this other dude are standing here talking. Her sister pulled up, and she starts running her mouth. I just wish these guys would stop talking so much shit, blah, 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 talking about my own man. Like saying it so we could hear it, talking shit. So, I mean, literally, it's been years and years where I've bit my fucking tongue, bit my lip, whatever you want to call it. I haven't said anything. And I know that might sound unbelievable to the majority of you. It really is if you think about it. But I did not hold back this time. And, he's a piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. This broad literally starts screaming, ah! 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 She's so fucking lost, and she knows she's so wrong that this guy driving by, right there, that old man in that crippled ass car, yeah, John fucked him over too. Like, it's just insane how does he know that he snuck out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I talked to them this morning. Joy goes, all I know is that shit better not have to be brought to my place.
Anybody else, I really wouldn't give a shit. If you're an adult and I give you the heads up, hey, that guy's a piece of shit. Neighbor, when we were still cool with him, we tried to tell him, he was gonna get the dude to come do like some actual kind of like major work, not just some cleanup, but like a gutter, like do his gutters and shit.
Redo all of his gutters and soffits.
And we were like, man, you know, he's a motherfucker. You might not want to do that. And he's like, oh no, blah blah blah. I'm arrogant. I'm a piece of shit. I know better than you do. So we were like, all right, cool, do whatever. It was months. Yeah, they had to go to court. It was months. He still hasn't gotten paid up.
$1,000 last time. He was supposed to get paid $300 a month until it was paid off. He hasn't gotten a single payment.
Well, he might have. We don't know.
Up until that point, at that point, it was
Right,
6
right.
months after the court date.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm just saying. At this point, he might have paid him, but I doubt it. But he's just like in that situation, like I told you, you know, oh well. If you want to hire him again, that's on you. You want to do whatever again, that's on you. But when it's a special girl, I take fucking, you know,
Not only that,
it bothers me a lot. And we've known her for 20 years, and you know,
in the beginning, mom asked us about, because she has to work so much. Can you please help with Jess? So we've been asked by her legal guardian to do that.
to look out for her again because she's so naive. Because she's,
Mind of a 10-year-old.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, like she's an adult in certain circumstances. She sure loves her some sex, but
Yeah.
when it comes to complex emotions and you know situations, she's you know, she's just mud. And at the end of the day, the thing that's always been so shy, like I just can't imagine how you can do that, how you can be that type of person to other people. How do you prey on old people? You drive around, you look for somebody that, you know, maybe you see them outside and they're old, but you notice that their lawn is high, and you notice that, you know, the upkeep isn't there in the house, so you can assume that they might be, they're either old or they're lazy. So you go and you check and you go, oh, hey, I see you're old. Okay, hey, you know how everybody else charges you this or this? Well, I'll charge you less. Just give me the money and then I'll get the job done. And then he literally fucking bails.
Been to jail for that behavior multiple times. Has warrants out for that executive, for that.
But he's just how do you exist in this world like that? And then his and he's got so many kids that he doesn't give a fuck about. And his old lady is just as bad. She's a piece of shit too. The things that have come out of her mouth about the special girl, the horrible things that she said about her, to then smile in her face because you need a place to stay.
Or her to watch her raise.
Or for her to get free babysitting on. You know how much money they've promised that girl? Like they've literally said, here, we're gonna leave our babies with you for the weekend. We've got a job we're gonna go do.
4 days.
4 or 5 days. We'll pay you $500,000, $600,000, $800,000 and pay her nothing. Or give her, you know, a couple of hundred and be like, I'll get you back. It's just it's and the thing is she's coming out of pocket to pay for groceries and shit like that. Like it's just a nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. And to have it escalate like it does out of guilt. I mean, it's all guilt. You can't be like, hey, you know, give us another chance. We're not even, it's not even like they're like, hey, sorry we were bad. Sorry we were shitty to you. Sorry we took advantage of you. You know? They at one point years ago now. See, this is where again, this is kind of Karen, what's going on? This is where stupidity and you know, wanting to help people and wanting to believe in people backfires. So at some point he hit my wife because, you know, my wife had gotten her settlement, so she got a couple $1,000s, nothing crazy, a couple $1,000s. And of course the idea of her getting this money within the day gets back to this douchebag. So he comes up to my wife and he hits her with the super sob story. Hey, I got to get my truck fixed. Yada, yada, yada. Can I borrow, what was it?
$600.
$600.
I'll get it back to you in a couple days. All I need is $600 to go rent the piece of equipment I need to do the job. And then I'm money for it in days when I'm done with the job and get it right back to you.
And I'm telling you, like we were like that close to divorce when that shit happened because I knew it. I was so fucking mad. Why are you trusting this piece of shit? And she wanted to help, and the babies, they need the help, they just need to,
Money to make their rent payments so they didn't get kicked out of their house.
right? Because they were living in the house next door at the time, next door to their mom.
Yeah.
And so Marcus, and so after couple days goes by, nothing, and more time goes by and nothing, and
And I kept asking.
I'm furious at this point, but my wife is like, no, you can't get involved. This is my thing. I'm going to take care of this, yada, yada, yada. And out of respect for my wife, okay, we'll see how this works out. So over the next 10 weeks, she ends up getting $300 out of him.
No, I
Yeah.
had not gotten anything yet. He did not give me anything until that day. He gave me some that morning and then the day we got later that day.
Oh, so I got whatever. So I have bit my lip the whole time, yada yada yada. So I'm sitting upstairs, and I can hear him yelling at her, and I'm not okay with that, as you can imagine. I come running downstairs,
Well, and he has a big guy.
and yeah, he's much bigger than my wife, and he's in her face and he's yelling at her. So I come running down, and and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Yada yada yada. Back and forth goes. I'm standing on the sidewalk, and he's trying to egg me onto the property, because I'm assuming he thinks if I come on the property, and then he's like, "Well, I'm gonna call the cops if you don't just wipe the slate clean." I already know how this piece of shit's going, but I'm like, just come off the fucking property. You got something to say or do, come off the property. And he just won't. He's still talking shit. So I say, I'm like, look, I've kept my mouth shut this whole time. But now, if you don't get my wife the rest of her money today, I'm going to beat your ass tomorrow. And I'm going to beat your ass every single day until you get her money. Came back with the money. Like,
He
not.
had, like a half hour. He brought 300 of it, and I'll be back. And about 3 hours later, he came back with the other two.
But see, we had seen for that 10 weeks, the kids would have new bikes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, they'd be doing stuff. You'd hear about this toy or that toy or whatever. And that's who he is. He just doesn't care. You know, the surprising thing is that the kids would get new bikes because he doesn't give a shit about them. Dude got this huge settlement.
It was Easter or something. It was a holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got this huge settlement 6 months ago. Like
It's about
a year ago. It was a significant amount of money. 100,000.
I think he got like 115 or something initially.
Something like that.
Got some more after that.
And
Claims he still has another check coming to him.
like he ran out, bought himself a motorcycle. Like they don't have a place to live, but this guy's buying a motorcycle. His girl, not wife, his girl and their two children, 4 and 2 or whatever, are living in a scuzz bucket motel. And this dude's out buying fucking a motorcycle and shit.
That is one of his other kids, a dirt bag.
A dirt bike. And then within
And he goes
weeks,
child support for him.
he has to, take the dirt bike back and pawn it.
No, he didn't do that. He bought it.
Right. He took it back and pawned it.
Oh,
He took it from the kid. Right. I do traveling to cities in the morning. I have no idea what that is, but hey, have fun. But it's shit like this. Like this is the personal stuff that I don't sit here and talk about this shit all the time because it's boring. Who seem like, I don't know, are they relatable stories? Do you guys know your version? See you later, Karen. Have a great day. I just can't. This dude's gonna end up fucked up one of these days, like bad, because he just fucks with the wrong person. It's just insane. It really is insane. Personally, he's not worth anything like that to me. My life is not worth his life.
no, he got stabbed again, I guess. Like 6 months ago, stabbed in the back because he owed somebody some money. It was down at that end of the block or street. He owed somebody some money, and the dude pulled a knife out and stabbed him in the back. John was trying to run away.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's not.
Not the first time he's been stabbed.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine defending that piece of shit. And my wife, his woman and my wife were friends for a while. And it used to drive me crazy because I was like, she's a piece of shit. She's gonna do what she does to everybody else to you. And she wouldn't do that. You don't know her. You don't know who she is when nobody else is around and yada, yada, yada. And we got in lots of fights over it, like big fucking fights, because I just couldn't understand, like, what are you doing? Why do you keep giving this person so much leeway, so much, And it's because my wife is dumb. She's nice. She wants the best for everybody. She wants to believe that everybody isn't as big of a piece of shit as they are. And it's an admirable quality for sure, but it's also detrimental. It's also a bad quality. Because she's good. She's inherently a good person. And that good sort of blinds you and makes you think everybody else might think like you do or whatever, but it's not that way. And it just there's a domino effect of all of it. And it's such a microcosm of what we're talking about in the big picture of things, right? How many examples do you need of themish people, doing horrible shit, killing people, raping babies, whatever you want to. How many examples do you need before you stop allowing the guilt to logistics, how and why things are happening? Affects things. If I'm wrong about anything, ever, whatever it may be, you are more than welcome to tell me how and why. And if I agree, like if you can make the point that I can't argue against, I'll be like, fuck it, you know what, you're right, I'm sorry, I was wrong about that. I just don't understand how you can operate any other way. I don't understand how, as a human being, you don't look at your fellow human beings and think, like, how can we make this work? Like, I don't look down on anybody else. I don't think anybody else is born inferior like that. Like, that's just crazy. and I'm somebody that stands by my word. Like if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And like I always say, like you should only be doing things because it's the right thing to do, not because there's some sort of reward, not because if I was in that situation, I would hope somebody would do that for me. None of that. Even if it's going to be completely detrimental to you, but it's the right thing to do, you have to do it. I have a great example of that with this lady that I know, crippled, and she's really dumb, and like, there's lots of pieces to the puzzle, but I don't owe this lady anything. I barely know her. I don't know her middle name. I don't know her age. I don't know virtually anything about her. I just know that she's crippled and that she is. Did you trying to start shit? Really?
Your drink?
You didn't know. You literally said something when I had it.
Right.
Dude, like you're not that slick.
So Jay.
I'm sorry.
You just happen to do that right now too, right? Right. You just happen to. Oh, did you forget about this, Nate?
My bad, viewers. Please don't. Dad, please don't.
Stop it.
Please don't hit me.
Seriously, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Alright, Daddy.
Why would you say such stupid shit?
Like what? What you think?
You already know.
Alright, Daddy.
You can shut the TV off. Yep, you can shut the TV off. Shut it off. Little shit thing. Oh, I'm just so with everything. Whether it's this my immediate vicinity, the immediate world that I am affected by and potentially affect, or the big picture that I'm victimized by. The whole, how is this what life is? Life can't just be, oh, I always talk about true selfishness. How true selfishness is the key to salvation, is the key to utopia. If me personally, my main thing is that myself, first and foremost, myself. I know you're not supposed to say yourself first, but myself, my wife, and my children all live the happiest, healthiest, safest lives that we can live. And the only way that can happen is if everybody else is living the happiest, healthiest, safest lives they can live. That way, nobody's affected by somebody else's misfortunes, somebody else's desperation based on their misfortunes. And when I say myself first, it's because my kids need a dad who is happy, healthy, and safe. To help them grow into men that are happy, they don't want to sit, they don't want to see their dad depressed and down in the dumps. They want their dad to be as happy, healthy, and safe as possible. This whole thing is just so fucked up, man. I'm so sick of all of it. I just want everybody to be happy, healthy, and safe. and happy. You know, if your idea of happiness is to have a small little place in the middle of nowhere and you farm and you make little statues out of wood or something like that, then you should be allowed to do that. If you're uh if you're if you want to travel and see the world, then you should be able to do that too. You know, if you should be able to. How can you be mad at the teenagers for emulating their government? You don't go into a place with the best intentions and then work things out and take over, but it's through kindness and fortune. Nah, you Venezuela the motherfucker. You go there and you Israel the shit. You just take what you want, and who cares what lives it costs? Who cares, who's hurt by this? That's what our system has shown us our entire lives. Especially though these teenagers, this new generation who's only had Trump and Biden. Like, think about how these takeovers where these teenagers show up somewhere and through chaos and destruction and craziness, they take over. Like, that's exactly what our system does. Please go. Timothy too. This is just the craziest situations. This whole thing, the chaos. Our lives are made to be so chaotic. And then you're supposed to look to shit like Jesus for the answers. If Jesus was the solution, then wouldn't we already be there? If religion really was the thing, wouldn't it have already shown itself? The situation where it is the wrong one. And then when you like I was saying, when you look at the example, lead by example. When you look at the example we're following, I mean, again, I say it all the time, but it doesn't. I don't know if it does. It not seem. Do you understand that the people that control the world, we all know who it is. It's like it's a joke, but it's one of those jokes that only works because it's true. Like if people said the Chinese were the best basketball players in the world, nobody believe it. But everything. I mean, the United States Congress is pushing for the merger of the United States government with Israel. In what world does that even begin to make sense?
Oh yeah.
Like, outside of literally conspiracy theory, how does anyone hear that that's the plan and go, yeah, no, that's cool. No, that's fucking, that's it. Yeah. I mean, it's shocking, really. But when you say MISNAANIDH, that's the every aspect of Jewish life is covered by this. Here's the Hebrew translation of it, and those who have been here before know what I'm doing, but those who might not have seen this before, yeah. And what it translates is whose father arranged her betrothal is betrothed through intercourse. There is no beating around the bush on that one. Wonder what it's sex. That's it. There's no other explanation around it. Right? That's it. There's no other explanation around it. Right? 3 years and 1 day old is betrothed through intercourse. Betrothed is promised. Is like you're basically married. You're gonna get married when it's legally permitted. Right? So you're not technically married, but you belong to that person's property, and especially in this, it's hard to even put it into perspective, but in places where they respect women, betrothal would be, there's really no father, the family of one little girl arranging for her marriage to another family's son, and there's an exchange of goods, there's a dowry that gets paid, shit like that. Like it's really just fucked up. I was gonna say, in places where in situations where they respect women, but they don't. You can't respect your woman or women if you are basically selling off your daughter to the highest bidder, or to the piece that makes the most sense. Doesn't matter if she loves the guy, or it doesn't matter if she is attracted to the guy. She's been betrothed to this guy, and whenever the agreed upon day comes around, she is no longer her father's property, and she is not this new man's property. Basically what it is. So it's pretty fucked up. But especially when you then consider that these betrothals are happening to 3-year-old and 1 day little girls, and this arrangement is solidified, I guess. I don't know whether the arrangement is official through intercourse. So the 20, 40, 50, 60-year-old man who decides he likes the way that little girl looks, in order to, and this means that the family, the father and whatnot, has to be like, all right, we'll go rape my child because, I've agreed to this betrothal. It's pretty fucked up. Like, it's really, really fucked up. And if you can show me Jewish group believe that condemn this and that are actively trying to remove this and prevent this from happening, then I would love to actually see it. I think it would be great. Like, I don't want them to be doing this. I want them to be speaking out and actively condemning this insanity. But is betrothed through intercourse, as the halalchic status of intercourse with her is that of intercourse in all halalchic senses, meaning ownership. Huh? What? I don't know. And in the case where the childless husband of a girl 3 years and 1 day old dies, which again is what happens when she's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, she has to be childless. A little girl like that doesn't get pregnant, doesn't have children, you know. So if she's already betrothed, and the guy dies or is killed or whatever, then you know, she's going to be a childless widow who is still has value, you know, which is strange because they really pride themselves on the virginity. But I guess if his brother, the Yavam, engages in intercourse with her, he acquires her as his wife. It's just shocking. It's just fucking shocking. He acquires her as his wife. His brother's widow. His brother's widow. Like, it's so fucking wrong in every sense of the word. Like, it's just insane. And if she is married, a man other than her husband is liable for engaging in intercourse with her due to violation of the prohibition against intercourse with a married woman. She's a married woman. What's going on? Oh, I'm sorry. At least she gets to be in a pink carrier, though, so everybody knows it's a girl.
Try to keep the door closed.
That's how you know.
Fine.
And then it says if she is impure due to menstruation, it goes into all this talk about the 3-year-old girl being menstruating, which yeah, if it's in their main book, it's because it's this enigma, you know. No, it's happening so much that they had to put it in their main book to give guidance in the. Okay. Like I said, I'm not trying to be sarcastic here. I'm not trying to be funny or even necessarily shit talk, but just sort of stating facts, or at least the you know, trying to make sense of it. But I assume it's because of the micro penis thing, because they all have micro penises. That was weird. The girl just opened up the door for Gracie, like opened her door to put her in the car like I do with you. That was a little sus, as the kids say.
It's not Grace is very much against that. She thinks it's disgusting. Uh-oh.
We'll see. But I assume it's the micro penis thing that allows them to lie to themselves like that. Well, the hymen didn't break, so it must have grown back. Like, maybe it's because you can't reach it. I don't know. I'm assuming, micro penis is the first digit of your pinky finger, like that, literally. And that seems to be pretty common in their circle. Little tiny hats. And so I guess, I mean, I don't know. I would assume, like, I can't even picture it rational, nothing. I can't understand, like, a 3-year-old, like, how they would have to be hurt so tremendously. That's how my head thinks about it. Look how small they are, and the details are just so disgusting, right? It just can't even justify saying, but it's just not fucking right. So when you how do they even begin to tell themselves what they're doing isn't horrendous? Like, doesn't the reaction of the child say everything? Right? Doesn't the child, I mean, it's just insane. Like, what are we talking about here? But again, I can only assume that they tell themselves that they're not destroying the child because they know that it doesn't, the micro penis just doesn't. I don't know. My wife says she's been with a close to micro penis and didn't feel it. So I but we're still talking about a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, whatever you want to call it.
Gross.
Right. It's just so unfathomably disgusting. And you just like, how do you as an adult human being, do that math and it works out that you're in the right? Like, it just doesn't, you can't divide 1 by 100 and be like, oh no, that's a reasonable number, right? Like, it just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. It just doesn't work. And I know you dumbasses will be like, well, actually, if you just look at $1. I don't know. Again, I can only assume the micro penis plays a big part in this. Because I just don't. How does the child even survive it? It doesn't. You would think it would just physically destroy the child, not just mentally and emotionally, but physically. The only thing I can say is the micro penis. That must be it. It just, I don't know. They're just rotten human beings. And then you'll have them come on here and occasionally they'll be blasphemous and say stupid shit. But, you know, if I'm wrong, why are these guys following me around? Why are these guys obsessed with me? You know, I'm doing a live feed with two viewers and 2 likes. I've been censored as much as somebody can be censored.
Yeah, that's fun. Nothing. I said, is she still in your ear? I'm not talking shit. I just got back here. I'm not talking shit to you.
I'm not gonna pick sides.
I'm not asking you to pick sides.
My entire fucking life. I can talk to whoever the fuck I want to talk
Don't talk to us like that. Who are you talking to?
Say anything.
Don't talk to us like that. Don't even start. You're just a little girl. Don't even start.
to. My neighborhood.
Don't even start. Nobody was telling you anything.
That's the most petty.
Nobody was telling you anything. Stop it.
No, you stop. I wasn't even fucking talking.
Yeah, again, I couldn't care less what you have to say. I couldn't care less. Nobody was saying anything.
I didn't say anything about choosing sides.
Say anything in the first place.
Yeah, but guess what? We can talk as much as we want to.
I'm not
We can talk to whoever we want. We can say whatever we want to say on our porch. We're on our porch. We can say anything we want. Yeah, it doesn't work when it's done back to you, does it?
Wow.
Dumbass Grace.
Wow.
What were you expecting?
Justine needs a friend that fucking bad.
Of course. It's the exact same kind of trash.
It's just hilarious to me.
But this is why this is why when the other side comes around, oh, I need something, I'm going to be nice. This is why you say, no, go fuck yourself. In the case of a boy 9 years and 1 day old, whose brother had died childless, who engaged in intercourse with his Yivama, his brother's widow, the status of the intercourse is that of halalchic intercourse, and he acquires her as his wife, but he cannot give her a bill of divorce until he reaches the age of majority, which is like, again, from what I can tell, at 12 they get searched, and if they have 2 pubes, then 6 months later they become an adult. That's basically, it says it in other parts of this. You just got to read a little bit more, but it's definitely interesting. And it says, and if he engages in bestiality, he disqualifies the animal from being sacrificed upon the altar, and the animal is stoned due to his act. They put the animal in a pit and they throw rocks at it until it dies. Like, this is just, we're talking about insanity that doesn't like it's insanity. It's insanity. And this is what runs the world. Right? Like, this is just wild. Anyway, I'm going to let me bounce. I appreciate the 2 of you being here. You have yourselves a wonderful day. And this right here, like, seriously, look this up. Look up Metitza Bapeh. Look up Mishnah Nada 5.4 for yourself. The link will be in the description. Look up Metitza Bapeh. Metzizah. New word, B''Peh. Metitza Bapeh. understand that this is a cancer, and the only way you defeat cancer is by eradicating cancer. So have yourselves a wonderful day, and you pedophiles, kill yourself, because we're gonna get you.